I guess the scenario, which a lot of people are talking about, and see Mike Brennan says here, who do we let in, Denver or Cincy? So if Denver and Cincy both win this week, and then we play next week, if Denver beats us, Denver will get that last playoff spot, which means they'll play Buffalo in the first round. But if we beat Denver and Cincinnati wins the next two games, Cincinnati gets that last playoff spot. So a lot of people at Chiefs Kingdom want Cincinnati to get into the playoffs to play Buffalo in the first round, and potentially people are saying they have a higher shot of beating Buffalo than Denver would in the first round. JD, and I've seen some people say you want the weakest opponents to be in the playoffs, not the better opponents to be in the playoffs. So where do you stand on that? Would you rather Denver make the playoffs at the last spot, or Cincinnati make the playoffs at the last spot to make it difficult for Buffalo?
I do. I believe that Denver and Cincinnati both are solid teams. I do. And I'm gonna be completely honest to you. I don't want to see Cincinnati nowhere near the playoffs. They got all the guys. They got a running back, 3 wide receivers. Tight end. They've been doing some good things out there. I think what's the name got hurt, didn't he? Hendrickson or somebody, didn't he get hurt? Is he out for this? I think he might be out.
Hendrickson? Or no, I think it might be Sam Hubbard, the other guy.
Hubbard? Yeah.
I think it was Hubbard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Let me see. But either way.
Hubbard could be out for the season with a PCL injury.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I don't. I think Denver could beat a Buffalo. I do believe that. Cincinnati can beat them too. But they're one of those teams that will get in. They could ride the wave to try to sneak in, man. I think Cincinnati is a dangerous team. They got too much talent. Dangerous.
Also, keep in mind, if Cincinnati does beat Buffalo, we play them the next round and then have to play someone like Baltimore in the AFC conference. So that's, you got to keep that in mind too. Yes, we get rid of Buffalo, but we wouldn't face Buffalo to the AFC Championship. We would face Cincinnati after they beat, because they're the lowest seed in the playoffs. Because we reseed, we'd face them in the next round and then have to face someone else in the AFC Championship. So technically, it comes down to who would you rather play? Houston, let's just say Houston and Buffalo, or Cincinnati and Baltimore?
Yeah.
Probably Houston and Buffalo. Houston, I'm curious to see how Houston looks. They're down 10-0 right now, but I'm curious to see how Houston looks without Tank Dell. They looked kind of a shell of themselves after that injury that happened last week. So I'm curious to see how they kind of bounce back from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Denver has a D to give Buffalo fits. Yeah, I think Denver's defense is very dangerous. They could definitely beat them. Buffalo has no Hall of Fame receivers at this point. No, they do not. Amari Cooper is the guy that he'd be the guy to go to. Kincaid is another guy. Obviously, your tight end. Cook is another one. He's dangerous at the running back. Then we know Josh Allen can do what he can do. But Denver's defense is good enough. They could probably stop some of that. So.
Yeah. That's interesting, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've seen so many people weighing in on that. There's been kind of fights. People want Cincinnati to play Buffalo because they have a higher chance of beating them. They've done it before. They've gone to the playoffs and beat them in the first round. And then also some people are like, well, you want the playoff field to be the weaker opponent, so you want to have Denver in the over Cincinnati just because the danger factor of Cincinnati kind of coming together at the right time.
Well, I'll tell you, you know what? I got an answer for this. I don't care. Bring them all on. It don't even matter. It doesn't matter, Marcus. It does not matter.
It doesn't matter what you think.
It doesn't matter. So
pulling their old rock out.
Yeah, man. How we just gonna deal with that? I don't give a damn who they got, who you bring in, who you start, who's lining up. We got something for everybody. Okay. How about that? All right. We don't look, this right here is destiny. You understand? This is destined to work. It's what these guys are on the trajectory to do. It's three-peat. So I don't care who it is they line up. Bring them all out. You want to get Jim Kelly out of there? You want to bring who's good old Cincinnati? You want to bring Icky Woods? Who you want to bring? Huh? You want to bring Ray Lewis with the Ravens? Who you want to bring? Huh? I'm just asking. So no matter who they get, man, be ready. That's what it is. So,
Yeah. But at the end of the day, Chiefs are 15-1, have the first seed and the first round bye, and we won't be playing meaningful football for a couple of weeks.
a boy named Sasha said, play whoever shows up. That's right. Mike Brennan said, winner, winner, chicken dinner, JD Nether. It don't matter who we play, man. I think right now we see the Chiefs are rolling. They look really good. We're going to give these guys some rest, much needed rest. Like you said, they've earned it. But we don't want to give them too much rest. But these guys, let them get healthy, let them get healed. So when they come out, man, they're going to be spitting fire during the playoffs. And so we just make sure that everybody else that stays healthy throughout this rest of the process. Very confident in everything that they did offensively, defensively. Even without Chris Jones being out there, the defense stepped up and they came in, like I said, next man up. When their guy was down, they took it up the slack. That's what they did. And so they did a tremendous job defensively. Defensive line, secondary, all those guys, phenomenal job. Offensively, you name it, man. Patrick Mahomes is hitting everybody. Everybody that had a Chiefs uniform on that played offense today, Patrick Mahomes found them. And so it was very encouraging to see that. They had 38 passes, 320 yards, 3 touchdowns. Probably could have gotten more, but we just knew how to take the boot off their neck. And so when we had pretty much of a convincing victory, we started running football a little bit more, 4-minute offense, right? And so that's the way it's supposed to look toward the end of the game. You start seeing guys shutting down. You start seeing guys being replaced. And so that's the way it looks, and that's the way it should be. And so we went ahead and sealed the deal, getting a number 1 seed, get them some rest, much needed rest, so we can go ahead and finish up, man, with this 3-peat. But, as far as everybody, team-wise, coaches, everybody, man, this is a very, very beautiful victory up there in Pittsburgh. Tough place to play against a very good football team. But the Chiefs just showed everybody that we are back, we are ready, we are refined to be who we want to be on this Super Bowl run. And I don't think anybody is tough enough to stand in our way to stop us from what we want to do. So that's how I feel.
Like we've said many times this season, we have won games in so many different ways. We're filling out our season-long bingo card, and you can add a new one, dominating a playoff team without our star defensive player, Chris Jones. Haven't done that yet. And it seems like we're coming along at just the right time, too. I feel like we're hitting such a stride right now. Our defense looked in tune. Our offense looks in tune. And that's just adding, it's funny, that's adding a mid-season receiver to be our, at the time, number 1. And that's adding back in Hollywood, who didn't really have that much prep with us. Who lost in the first preseason game. So it's worked out pretty well because we've been saving, I think, Hopkins' legs a little more. We don't need to use him as much with the way Worthy's been emerging and getting Hollywood back. We don't really have to rush anyone, and we don't really have to lean on anyone that hard. It's saving Kelsey's legs. It's saving Hollywood's legs. It's saving everyone's legs across the board. And how many guys we have right now, Mahomes is just ready. He can just get rid of it and not have to hold on to it and take sacks. I think it's helping the entire offense. It's helping everyone click on the short game, which I think we'll be relying on in the playoffs. And it just looks great on both sides of the ball.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.